What is going on, you guys? Missed the part here, back again with another fan fiction video. Now we're going into part 2 of what if Marvel zombies were in the MCU. If you guys haven't checked out part 1, do make sure you guys do, because you're going to want to stay all up to date with this series. We're going to be going into Infinity War territory, and then the final part will complete the trilogy going into Endgame territory. So I hope you guys enjoy part 2. Link will be in the description down below for part 1. But anyways, as always, let's continue the fan fiction. Thanos' ship had landed and his Black Order aborted the ship. They saw that everything was dark and bodies were everywhere. Corvus Glaive told Thanos that it was clear that the entry into the ship. Thanos walked in, seeing the corpses lying lifeless on the ground. Thanos yelled, telling his Black Order to rip the ship apart. He wanted the Space Stone and he wanted it now. Thanos had the Power Stone after he decimated Xandar. He lit the Power Stone up and the stone casted a shadow on the most terrifying sight. A group of zombies smiled and were ready, about to attack Thanos. Likely, Thanos used the Power Stone in time, cracking the skulls of the zombies. The Black Order were caught off guard. Loki had changed into Ebony Maw, biting off Proxima Midnight's head. Black Dwarf was confused seeing Ebony Maw do this, but it was too late. Hulk screamed, spearing him to the ground. Before Black Dwarf could attack, his face was cut clean off. Thanos looked to see all of his Black Order were murdered in front of him. Thanos screamed, using the Power Stone to destroy the ship. Thanos met these types of creatures before, but not like this. It was something he never faced before. Thanos knew he needed to act fast. Valkyrie was going in for the killing blow on Thanos, but he dodged the attack, grabbing her by her neck, crushing her in front of Heimel. Thanos used Corvus's spear, levitating it in the air, throwing it at Loki's face, pinning his body to the ship. Thanos crushed every zombie within the ship, throwing their bodies through space. Thanos walked towards Loki, who was trying to break out of the spear, but Thanos took his body, ripping it in half. Thanos looked to see the Tesseract as he was about to pick it up. Hulk screamed, turning around. Thanos and Hulk were circling each other. Thanos knew that whatever this was, he had to end this fast and get that stone. Thanos was about to pick it up until Hulk speared Thanos into the wall, laughing, saying that he was the hungriest there is. Thanos, in time, used the Power Stone to blast Hulk's head into half. Hulk screamed, but was punched in the face. Thanos smashed Hulk's head into the ship, kneeing him in the gut. Thanos picked up Hulk, slamming his body to the ground. Thanos, in a rage, blew up the Hulk's head. He was dead, but it wasn't finished. The Mad Titan picked up the Tesseract, crushing it into his hands. He put the stone on his gauntlet, knowing that he needed to regroup and find the next stones. He was about to use the Space Stone until a ship zoomed in, crashing into the entranceway. Thanos didn't know what to think, but he stood his ground. The ship's doors opened and out came Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy. The zombies were shocked to see the ship was spreaded with bodies everywhere, but what shocked them the most was that Thanos was here. Thor couldn't believe it. He saw Loki's head roll near Thanos' feet. Thanos stomped on the head, explaining that he was too late for them and he had 2 stones and he was going to be getting the 3rd one. Thanos opened the Space Stone portal, about to enter, until he saw his daughter come out of the ship. He was shocked to see that she became one of these freaks, and Thanos didn't know what to say, but he had a tear in his eyes, knowing what he needed to do. Thanos asked what happened, but the zombies walked off of the ship with no reply. Thanos put his head down in disappointment, aiming the gauntlet at the zombies. He shot a blast from the gauntlet, but lightning crawled up Thor's fingers, dodging the mega blast. Thanos knew he was outmatched, and without all of the stones, he couldn't fight whatever this was. He decided to continue his plan, using the Space Stone. Thor jumped, almost getting to Thanos, but the portal shut. He rolled around the floor, and Thor turned his head to see the Hulk. Hulk was dead, and Thor had flashes of his past, remembering when he was normal. Thor screamed manically, and the Guardians walked towards the ship, looking at the coordinates. Earth was the destination, and they needed to go there now. Thor wanted more food, but he thought that maybe he could be cured. Maybe Tony could help him become the man he once was. Thor had to try this. He told the Guardians that he wanted this planet for his own, and that they could feast somewhere else. Gamora told Thor that Thanos was getting the stones, and she said if they could get their hands on one of those stones, that they could feast on any planet in the universe. Star-Lord laughed, agreeing with her plan. Thor wished the zombies good luck, back, but he didn't reveal the plan to the Guardians about finding a cure. If he did, all hope could be lost. Thor went into the back end of the ship, getting into an escape pod, going to Earth. Thor was coming in quick with the escape pod, breaking into the Earth's atmosphere. The ship crashed into the building, blowing up. Thor's body was sent flying near Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. Doctor Strange looked outside, hearing screaming, car alarms, and people in panic. Doctor Strange saw a building on fire, but he didn't know what was going on. Wong ran outside asking Strange if he was in need of help. Doctor Strange was shocked when he saw Thor emerge from the flames of the shipwreck. He had blood everywhere, and half of his face was burnt off. Doctor Strange asked Thor if he was okay, but he kept walking towards Strange and Wong. Doctor Strange was caught off guard, seeing Thor pick up a civilian trying to run from the chaos. Thor laughed, ripping his throat out, eating the man in front of them. Doctor Strange knew dark magic or something was in the works here. Strange had no choice but to use the time stone. He reversed time right before Thor's ship crashed into the Earth. Doctor Strange used an astral projection of himself to get within the ship. He couldn't believe his eyes. He saw Thor with the blazing green eyes, knowing that he needed to do something. Doctor Strange grabbed Thor's body, teleporting him into the Sanctum Sanctorum. He then used a portal, linking it somewhere through space, throwing the ship into it just in time. Doctor Strange teleported back to the Sanctum Sanctorum in time, using magic to restrain Thor. Wong ran towards Doctor Strange, seeing Thor on the couch in chains. Doctor Strange asked if Thor could talk. Thor yelled and screamed, demanding to be freed, but he told Strange that he needed help. He had a sense of hunger that he couldn't control, and he needed Stark or him to cure him of Hela's enchantment or whatever infected him. Doctor Strange and Wong told Thor that it was going to be okay. Tony, like the original timeline, was with Pepper jogging around the city. Tony talked about his weird dream that he had of his daughter, and he was surprised to see a portal in the middle of the city open in front of his eyes. Doctor Strange walked outside of the portal, demanding for Tony to come with him and that this was urgent. Tony didn't want to go with them, telling Doctor Strange to mind his own business until Strange moved out of the way, revealing Thor through the portal. Tony ran towards the portal, seeing that Thor was restrained, and yelled at Strange what was wrong with him. He walked into the portal in shock, seeing a zombified Thor. Stark asked what happened, and Doctor Strange revealed everything that Thor said to him about Hela and how he was turned into a zombie after the destruction of Asgard. Doctor Strange told Tony that they needed to find a way to reverse whatever happened to him, or this could spread within the world or even the universe. Tony was shocked but agreed. He tried to talk to Thor, but Thor wanted to break out. He wasn't strong enough to break through Strange's barriers, and Tony told Strange he was going to need to get a blood sample to see what was inside of him. This would allow him to check what was wrong and how he could reverse whatever happened. Strange asked Thor how many of these zombie type creatures were running around in the universe, and Thor said that he only knew around 8 that were still alive running around. Tony almost fell to the ground in shock, knowing that if this spreads, the whole universe could turn into these freaks. They needed to act fast before things got out of hand. Tony grabbed his phone, ready to call Steve, but he decided not to alarm anyone. Tony knew that if he did, it would only be making the problem worse than what it could be. Thanos, like the original timeline, went to nowhere to collect the reality stone from the collector, but this time it was ambushed by the zombie versions of the Guardians. The Guardians trailed Thanos throughout the universe, knowing the collector had the reality stone. If they could get their hands on the stone before Thanos, they could make it a lot easier for them to take the other 2 stones from him, using them to feast on everything and everyone. Thanos had a standoff with the rest of the Guardians, and he told them that they couldn't possess the power of the stones and that he was going to wipe out half of all life to balance everything out. The zombies didn't care, and Star-Lord attacked Thanos, but Thanos changed reality, throwing Star-Lord at Drax and Groot. A massive Power Stone blast hit Mantis in the face, killing her. A hole went through her head, and she fell to the ground lifeless. Thanos threw her body at Gamora, and Gamora was sent flying onto the ground. She was about to get up until Thanos stepped on her back, crushing it. Her face broke with blood pouring out of her eyes, and Star-Lord yelled, using his rocket boots to kick Thanos in the face. Thanos ripped Star-Lord's leg off and was about to teleport Star-Lord until the gauntlet didn't work. Thanos heard laughing in the distance, and reality changed in front of Thanos. Star-Lord laughed, saying that they had cheat codes of their own, and that he was going to pay for everything he did to them. Gamora came from behind, biting Thanos in the neck. He screamed in pain, but the zombies devoured him, leaving his bones at nowhere. They ate off the gauntlet of Thanos' arm, having enough power to travel and eat anything they wanted in the universe. Gamora made sure that Thanos wouldn't come back from this. Gamora told the team that they had 3 stones, and she said, "What if we find the final ones, using the full power, having no one stand in our way?" Drax smiled at the idea and loved it. The Guardians agreed to find the Soul Stone, the Mind Stone, and the Time Stone. With these stones, they could snap their fingers and eat everything and anything they wanted. Gamora explained that they knew where one of the stones were, and that stone was on Vormir. The Guardians headed to Vormir, going at lightning speed. Tony gained samples of Thor's blood, and it was hard to study for Tony since Thor was a god. It wasn't normal, but he knew that something was wrong. He tried to look within the blood to retrieve separate samples, but he didn't find anything that could help him. Doctor Strange tried researching spells to reverse whatever has been done to Thor, but nothing could be done. Doctor Strange looked within different timelines to find an answer to this, but he couldn't see anything. Tony asked Strange what was their next course of action going forward since they couldn't do anything for Thor. Tony told Strange Thor was still his friend and that he needed more time, but Thor explained that he wasn't in full control and was willing to break out of the magic and eat everyone. He told Strange he better have the Time Stone ready just in case anything were to happen. Strange was about to tell Tony something until Thor let out a massive scream. The hunger was becoming too much for him, and a bolt of lightning came cracking down from the sky, breaking Doctor Strange's spell. That is going to end it for part 2 of this fan fiction, and if you guys did enjoy part 1 and if you guys enjoyed part 2, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date with the latest content. I'm really excited that we're turning the Guardians of the Galaxy into some really sinister monsters here. It's going to be really interesting who gets the gauntlet, what's going to happen, but things are going to be really intense for the end game part, so stay tuned for that because it's going to be insane. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in and have an amazing day.